Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. In 2022, where you basically can't get a Submariner unless you're a celebrity or you do some very specific favors to your authorized dealer, we need to talk about alternatives. What are some alternatives you should consider if you want a Submariner or dive watch in 2022? Today, I'm going to talk about 5 watches you should consider and why. Now, of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing my Panerai Radiomir Black Seal. Haven't worn this bad boy in a very long time. In fact, the strap, which is almost 10 years old, I actually started to notice is kind of perishing. I should get a new one on that ASAP. And also, guys, don't forget to check out DelReyWatch.com. Some very cool watches came in, including a Tudor Black Bay Bucherer limited edition, absolutely gorgeous, an IWC pilot watch with their fantastic new green dial. These are very hard to get, and we got one unworn, and a Vacheron Overseas complete set. Last generation, which I actually find significantly more handsome than this one. All that and more at DelReyWatch.com. And guys, over the next week, Del Rey Watch is going to be on fire with a whole bunch of new stock that's coming in and a bunch of price drops of old stuff we're clearing out. So sign up to our mailing list or just keep an eye out on Del Rey Watch. Should be some exciting stuff, and it started today. But over the next few days, there's going to be a lot of updates, so keep a lookout. Anyway, guys, as I said, getting a sub in 2022, especially brand new at retail, basically impossible unless you're willing to do a few things. So let's talk about some alternatives. Now, of course, Omega is an alternative. Tudor Black Bay is an alternative. I want to go slightly off the beaten path. I'm not going to go all micro brand on you or all independent, but let's ignore, or at least, let's ignore at least what I think are like the usual suspects when it comes to this list. So let's go a little bit more interesting, and these are in no particular order. The first one is the Glossute CQ. Glossute's second foray, as far as I know, into dive watches and evolution of their Sport Evolution line. This was very well received. It comes in a few different strap options, a few different complications, and a few different dial colors. So you have more variety than the Submariner in a more vintagey style watch, but that essentially does the same thing. Now, Glossute being German instead of Swiss, and also making a lot more high-end movements, at least in terms of finishing, gives you that particularly luxury feel. It's a more interesting choice than a Submariner, but I understand it's not for everybody. But I don't think you can go wrong with a Glossute CQ, especially at a price of $10,200 with no markup, brand new. Now, I'm not really sure 100% what the retail price of a sub is at the moment, but I do know the market price is not $10,000 brand new. So all you guys are saying, well, the MSRP is lower than that. Good luck getting it at MSRP, unless, as I said, you have some very specific skills. The second one, the Grand Seiko SBGH289 High Beat. Continuing with my Grand Seiko love. Very cool watch, high beat movement, which a Submariner doesn't have. Also available in a variety of colors. Yes, Grand Seiko's bracelet does not rub everyone the right way, though you do get some very high-end watchmaking, Zaratsu polishing, and a more unique watch out of Japan. If you can get over the Seiko moniker, which I assure you has very little, if anything, to do with Grand Seiko, you can get a hell of a watch at a retail price of $7,300. Trust me, take a look. These are a hell of a bargain. Now we have a more typical choice, but still interesting. The Breitling Super Ocean Heritage. A lot of these watches have Tudor's in-house movement, which Breitling borrows, which is technically also owned by Rolex. Tudor, not Breitling, so they are related. However, you have strap options, bracelet options, and I love that Milanese mesh, and now that they're ceramic, you also have color options. This is significantly less than a Submariner at about a $4,750 starting price, and I wouldn't say it's quite as high-end as a sub. The case finishing is rudimentary, but it's just as tough as a sub, has an interesting movement, which is kind of derived from a sub, and you save a ton of money. This Breitling is a very interesting choice. Now, another watch that you may consider typical, but I don't understand why it gets more love, is the Tudor Pelagos. Now, Tudor is Rolex's little brother, so this choice might be a cop-out. But instead of going Black Bay, which, by the way, I love the Black Bay, but I love the Black Bay for its neo-vintage styling, the Pelagos is a hell of a watch. Entirely made of titanium, so super light and super tough. Fantastic ratcheting bracelet system that not even Rolex has the system yet on their watches. Has that sturdy Tudor in-house movement, and you know, once again, half the price of a sub. This is really a tool watch. I think this is what replaced the Submariner as a tool watch if you're going to be using one of these for its intended purpose. Love the Black Bay, but the Pelagos is a better watch, and I think competes very well with the Submariner. Now, if you want something that's styled a little bit differently, look no further than the JLC Polaris Mariner Date. JLC, the watchmaker's watchmaker, excuse me, I was going to say the master watchmaker's watchmaker, and I think they pretty much are, have been in-house for pretty much their entire history, even going as far as making movements for other companies. This is their sports line. JLC is more famous for their dress line. This is their sports line, but it's very classy. Internal rotating bezel with the double crown arrangement, nothing that ratchets from the outside. You have strap options, you know, leather, rubber, bracelets. I love the blue dial. That would be the one I would pick. And it's extremely high end. I mean, it's a JLC, for Christ's sake. Since when is Rolex above JLC in any pecking order apart from resale value? And I don't think watches are all about resale value at all. I think it should be about emotion and horology, but I understand you also don't want to lose a ton on a watch. And with this JLC, you won't lose it. I mean, it doesn't compete with the Submariner that sells above retail, but you certainly won't lose a ton, and it's a fantastic watch for the money. Guys, 5 great alternatives to watches you can actually, to the Submariner, 5 watches you can actually buy in 2022 that should keep your wrist warm and happy. Now, I know there's a ton more choices here. There's Girard-Perregaux Seahawks. There's all of the Omega Seamaster line and their 2000 variations. There's even Cartier makes a dive watch with the Calibre. I mean, there's a ton to pick here, but these are 5 that I think would be notable and that compare rather well with a Submariner and offer you something different. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Really does help. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more content. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thanks so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.